You fucking suck! Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2. I'm sorry, I was just reading the last comment that I got on my channel. I just happened to be looking at my phone right before I started and showed me the last comment I got an email for, and it just happened to say, you fucking suck, and that was literally all it said. I find those ones to be hilarious, especially when they're commenting on games that I already played, like, I don't know, a couple years ago. Anyway, what am I talking about? Welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2. Man, we're in Chapter 6. We're back in the Hope's Peak Academy from Danganronpa 1. We're in the gymnasium. Monokuma told us to go investigate the area. We gotta learn some stuff. He told us we're not even the main cast of the game. What is that all about? All I got is questions. Let's see if we can get some answers, shall we? Shit. Also, this music, apparently it was playing during the Nagito... What the... Hold on. Why are we on, like, the top floor all of a sudden? We went from first floor to top floor real fast. I remember this floor. All I was gonna say is, what was I gonna say? Oh, the music. Apparently it played during Nagito's investigation, but I apparently wasn't paying attention to the music during that whole section. I don't know if I had the volume lower, maybe I was talking too much, I don't know. Didn't notice that this music was that music, but this music is awesome. Anyway, huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not going to fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. Although the glitchiness might make me slow down. Because I can't read everything when shit's all glitchy. It's my phone's being all glitchy. Alright, anyway, let's talk to Sonia real quick. Hey, girl. This hallway, there is a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement.
I am concerned.
Is it just me? No, it's definitely here. Yeah. Can't go into any of the classrooms. So what rooms would be important on this floor? Maybe the lab? Or not the lab, but the room with all the dead bodies? The morgue? What was it called? The bio room. That's the room that had all the dead bodies in it. This shit is nuts. I love how this is, like, so ridiculous and, like, all fucked up. I'm actually really loving how ridiculous this is. What else was on this floor? What was this room? Was this the garden? I feel like this was the garden, right? And if this is the garden, then this is the dojo? I thought the music room was on this floor. Maybe that's on the floor above. Wait, this isn't... Is this the top floor? This is the top floor, right? It has to be. Because the floor below this is the one that has, like, the music room and that other room. Anyway, we're going to the dojo. I don't know why we're going to the dojo, but it's the only room we can go in, so... Let's see what's going on in here. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it was a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. Except for, this wasn't a school. The school from the last game. I'm going to start on the right and go left. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. Well, not yet anyways. Taiko drum! There's a straw post. Oh, not taiko drums. Straw post for both. Ah, I guess that's what it is used for training. Sorry. It looks like a taiko drum, doesn't it? Kind of. The cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossoms. The full falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Yoko and Pekka were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. Why would you think about dead people, man? That's not very promising. That target seems pretty far away. If the production team had more time, there could have been a mini-game here. Wait, what am I saying? Funny. Jokes. I have them. Hey, look, a monitor. Does this monitor serve the same purpose as the monitors on the island? If so, this would be under Monokuma's supervision, right? Is this place really Hope's Peak Academy? Damn it, what's going on? You don't want to know. Should we examine the camera as well? This is a surveillance camera. Why would there be a surveillance camera inside the school? I wonder, does this have the same purpose as the surveillance cameras on Shadow? So who's watching us? Is it whoever's controlling Monokuma? I mean, that's how it worked in the first game. Also, I should be looking for Monokuma dolls. Is there one hidden in here? I don't see one. On this side, anyway. see one over here either. Well, let's examine this real quick. It's armor and a helmet. The map developers designed this to reflect the Japanese dojo. The map developer. Who do you think you is? Talking all like you know what you're talking about. Boy. Alright, let's examine the obvious. The book on the ground. Huh? What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Host Peak Academy by Hot Monokuma. What? Who's the pink-haired girl on the front? And who's this Mew-looking motherfucker on the front with her? Looks like Mew, right? From Pokemon? Why is a manga with such a suspicious-looking title laying out in the open like this?
Let's start with history class first.
Or history first. Class. Sorry, I read that backwards.
Hey! Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. And what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person.
Wow. So insightful. So just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. Okay. Who the pink-haired girl, hello? She don't look familiar. Should we know her? I don't know. An introduction to Host Peak Academy history is narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Host Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it is also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with the research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system. The Reserve Department. Dun dun dun. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Wow, the same words they use to describe that shit every time it gets mentioned. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. What? No more? Hello? Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that's suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. The tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions names, so I don't really know the details, but nah, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right?
But hold on. That's weird.
Oh, you're here again?
Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course.
Huh?
Hey, why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? You should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird that you actually forgot about something like that, too.
What do you mean? What do you want me to say?
By the way... based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of these Reserve Corps students. I got it! Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself.
Huh?
You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though.
Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on! When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a Reserve Corps student.
Damn, dude. Hating on me. But it might make a lot of sense if Hajime erased more of his memories, that's why he forgot even more than everyone else. It would make sense. Damn it, what the heck? Oh, we got a truth bullet out of that. We really are investigating. Okay. Reserve department, hey? Alright, well. I assume that's all we can do in here. We literally examined everything in here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss a Monokuma doll. I don't see one, so I hope I'm not missing it. It really... If it is here, it's really hard to spot. I don't know where it would be if it was here, so I'm just going to go before I drive myself nuts looking for it. Are we going to teleport somewhere new? Nope. We are. Right outside the dojo. But maybe now something else is open? That still looks closed. Do we have a map or anything? I don't really need a map, but... Hey, Kazuichi, did I walk right by you before?
What's going on?
This hallway, it's kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something.
So they say. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. Okay. Maybe I can go down here now?
Was he standing there before? I feel like he wasn't standing there before.
Oh, that still looks dead end. Huh. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, okay, this classroom's open now. Oh, this is the classroom that had the massacre in it, isn't it? Oh, shit. Oh. I don't see a massacre in here this time. Well, let's examine everything before we examine the paper on the desk. Monitor serves same purpose, blah, blah, blah. Clock again. No hands. I guess none of else of this shit matters because it's all shit we've examined before. Alright, let's just examine the damn book. This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Host Peak Academy. Huh? Wasn't the Tragedy of Host Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? That's why Host Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. In human history. Because nothing else has been worse than that. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I certainly hope so, since it's called The Tragedy That Happened. I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Host Peak Academy occurred at Host Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Okay, we don't know that name. That is not somebody we know. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the Ultimate Hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the Symbol of Hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Host Peak Academy Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. Wow, we didn't even get that much detail in the first game. We didn't get his name or exactly what he did, but damn, he's the one that caused the incident? Crazy. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. The ultimate despair? That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest... Oh, wow. The tragedy wasn't even... Okay, so the tragedy led to the biggest, most awful tragedy. Okay. Works cited. Danganronpa 0. Oh, shit. Something I probably got to read or watch. I think somebody talked about this in my stream one day. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. Is that really true, though?
What irony! For a genius known as the Ultimate Hope to cause such a gruesome incident, a talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent.
Damn it. He always has to lead something up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope, but for Izuru, hope simply means talent. But more importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department! Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. And what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Oh, shit. If the reserve students caused the uprising, is Hajime the leader of that uprising? Wouldn't that be interesting? Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Host Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? Who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to your advantage? Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Okay, well, I agree with more questions, but as the person playing the game, I'm getting more answers than Hajime actually is. So that's good for me. Alright, well, I guess we're just going to look for another door that opened, since that seems to be how this is going. One door at a time. Also, I didn't see a Monokuma doll in that room. I did kind of keep an eye out for one, but I didn't notice one. Hopefully I didn't miss it. Not that it matters at this point, since I already missed one early in the game. This one's got to be open, right? Okay, this one looks open now. Alright, into the raw we go. We likes it raw. And another book to read. What the hell is this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Don't you worry, sir. We're going to do just that. This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is it left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Who are you talking to? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Oh, there's a Monokuma doll under here. Sneaky. Hiding in the shadows.
I've been found.
I've been found.
Refrigerator. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least that's what it looks like, but that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been canceled during development or something. Huh? What am I thinking? Oh my god. So, I know I haven't really talked about this theory at all. Nobody's really brought it up in the comments either, about like the people who have been watching but haven't played this game. But I've thought about this, and I don't know if I don't think I've mentioned this, but there's a possibility that this entire game is a game. Like, it's based on what happened in the first game, but this is like a game that just like continues that lore. Like, say if Star Wars was real and then they developed all the books afterwards to connect to the universe type of situation. Like, I'm just saying, like, if the first one is real life and then this is the video game that gets created in that world after the fact, or vice versa, this is the real world and the first one was a video game. Now that one makes this one's a little harder to put together if that's the case. But I was thinking about that and I was like, what if it's all just a game or a simulation or whatever, you know? This is all not real, essentially. And then at the end it's all going to be, oh, this was a dream, this was a game, this was a simulation. Here's what really happened, or of something that already happened, but this isn't real. Hope you had fun enjoying the reliving those terrible events, you know, that kind of situation. I haven't really talked about that theory much because I wasn't sure if it was even warranted, but I feel like at this point, because of all the glitchiness and all that, it's definitely something worth thinking about. Now, I may be completely off base and it's all the same world and all connected and all of that shit, and we're learning right now, but I just wanted to put that theory out there since I have been thinking about it. So if it ends up being true, I want to know, just wanted that to be out there, that I have thought about it. It's not something that's going to completely catch me off guard if it happens. Again, please no confirmation or denial of that theory, please. Let's read our third book, shall we? Is this one going to be the actual tragedy? There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We here, baby. Let's read. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? So what was that incident really all about? Might turn out to be something lame. Flip through the pages of the manga and hope that I was right. I was wrong. Good lord, look at that face, though. Okay. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Can we keep... How many times can we say that shit? We can get a counter on that? Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet, and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and the wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. And as the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. And as if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Somebody wanted to just watch the world burn. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. Interesting. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful event. Can we stop saying it? My mouth doesn't even want to say it anymore. Anyway, this is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant? What's happened to them?
No. Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you?
Who would enjoy reading something like this?
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy.
Enough! What is this messed up manga?
I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though, thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains.
This incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world.
I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted. On one hand, I'm really happy. But on the other hand, I'm worried. Yep. That's why I'm thinking about telling you guys in the outside world before you make your decision. Whether you want to leave or not. He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps... No, that's definitely it. Okay, well... We have 3 bullets now. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? They're devoted to a certain student who guided Host Peak Academy to its destruction. Are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Host Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. And are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Okay. It's a good thing we grabbed the Monokuma doll, because wouldn't have been able to grab it now. Whew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? I don't know. Everything that we like to do is wrong. Oh, this classroom's open. I guess we'll check this next. Is gonna be another manga? What would it be about this time? Maybe the Hope's Peak Academy Danganronpa Round 1? Oh, maybe not. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. But what if he's a Monokuma doll?
Why, hello, Hajime! I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right?
What are you doing here?
No,
Well,
no.
there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place.
A high school student doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What did you need to tell me?
It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. What? Surprise! It's about Ultimate Despair.
Huh?
Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
A high school girl?
yes, indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima.
Alright, there we go. Junko Enoshima?
Hey,
As the former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs, or Despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
don't fuck with me.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
Humans are obsessed with their philosophy, have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power.
Phew.
Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
So, she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat?
Huh?
Then what was their purpose?
What?
Like I said, why did they cause that incident? Doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they'd do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair.
Huh?
For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the Ultimate Despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the Ultimate Despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Enoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
What?
Do you know about the final days of the reserve corps students during the tragedy of Host Peak Academy?
Final days?
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the reserve department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Corps Department, or Reserve Department, all committed mass suicide.
What? Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students?
Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded.
One person was excluded? Huh? Is that me?
Damn it.
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair, Junko Enoshima? Ha, it doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko Enoshima's already dead. Huh? Yeah, I know. She is already dead. But her legacy lives on. Reserve Department and the Junko thing. Okay. Interesting. Anything else from Monokuma?
What a surprise. Do you want to hear about the Ultimate Despairs again?
No, I don't really need you to.
Hey!
Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days, it was actually a term used to blah blah blah. Okay. I actually didn't mean to talk to him again. My bad. Okay. Hey, Fuyuhiko, is it true what you just said? Junko Enoshima is really dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. Bloody classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the Killing School Life? Bloody classroom? I didn't get to see the bloody classroom. Like the killings we were involved in, there were killings that happened at Host Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For a manga about the Killing School Life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed Killing School Life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead.
like,
Turns out that Killing School Life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of her former students of Host Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Host Peak Academy. She took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. Shh, there's no limit to being a cruel asshole. Surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing?
so.
Students of Host Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people... Sorry, sticker on my controller is sliding off as I'm sitting here with it. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Enoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who's our enemy? If Junko Enoshima's already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that Killing School Life. Exactly. Well, I don't know who the hell's imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit.
If the students from Hope Peak Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? Good question. The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere? Just like the surveillance cameras during this killing school life? Good question. Fair enough question. Okay, so we got a bullet for the whole killing school life manga. Good shit. And updated the ultimate despair bullet. Okay. Dokei. Dokei. I'm trying to... Now that the sticker fell off my controller, I'm trying to like wipe off the sticky shit. It doesn't stick to my fingers while I'm playing the game. Sorry if I'm making noise. Or not talking or paying attention.
Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh?
What? Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna
Oh well,
do?
I'll just raise the flag.
Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that?
Ooh,
One step at a time.
how
You're getting closer to clearing my character route.
You're not making sense again, man.
Well now.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy.
Raise them frags like crazy. You have to talk to me and I'm out of here. You want to hear about the ultimate despairs again? No, I don't. Okay, I guess we're out of here then. Let me make sure there's no Monokuma dolls in here. I don't see one, other than this one, you know? So I guess we'll get the fuck out of here. I hope that something else opens up. Oh, we're on the fourth floor now. Great. Awesome. Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. So sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided that I'm not going to be surprised. That's right. There's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Yeah, especially since everything's glitching out and we got these black spots all over my screen. It's not weird at all. Anyway, let's just talk to my girl Akane real quick. What's up, girl? Akane's twitching her nose like a beast and examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened?
Based on my gut
Well, you
feeling.
know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who?
So
I don't know. It's just my gut after all.
It's just my gut.
Yeah, what he said. But still, her gut is pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Alright, well. Maybe one day she'll let me see those guts. Know what I'm saying? Just kidding. I don't even know what I'm saying. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna look around. There's locked doors, or glitched out doors. I guess you can't even call them locked, really. Blocked, locked. Here's where the Monokuma office was. Here's where the classrooms are. I guess now, okay, now we can go to, this is where the music room was, and now we can go. So let's check it out, shall we? Checking it out, checking it out. Sticky as controller is now. What the fuck is wrong with me now? What the hell's going on in here? Hello? This looks like the music room. I feel like I can see something strange. Oh, I don't know. Maybe this big glitchy thing in front of me that looks like a monolith. Anything else to examine in here? Hold on. Doesn't have to be a Monokuma doll chilling in here, as it does there. I definitely don't see one, unfortunately. Alright, well, let's just check out this thing. Looks like it's some sort of monument. Why would there be a monument in the music room? And not just that, the mark engraved into the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope Peak Academy? So the Future Foundation is, you know, it's Makoto, Byakuya, Aoi, Toko, and Hiro. I'm forgetting somebody, aren't I? Who did I forget? Kyoko? Kyoko. Alright. Yeah. So is that what they're saying? That the Future Foundation was established by them? I'm guessing that's what that means. Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. Uh-huh. We'll see about that. Anyway, let's examine the piano real quick. Very nice looking grand piano. It might be very valuable. Ibuki might have been able to play this. Not my girl Ibuki. Anyway, what's up with this matrix shit over here? No. What's up with this matrix shit over here? Hello? What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? The floating letters are forming a sentence. Looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by ultimate despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko Enoshima rallying them. In a worst-case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable to us. However, we are still investigating the details of their origins, and we haven't located them either. We will continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received a report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. Seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy? 15 students? Is that about us? Excluding Chiaki, who was part of the Future Foundation, there were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world isn't normal anymore. Maybe. I'm starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we lost. Oh boy. Well, cool. Good stuff. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed. The Future Foundation is on our side, at least. We were founded by the graduates of Hope Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. No, as long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma, if he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko Enoshima are making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What was that about? What was that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. If there really is a research facility on that island, there should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow there are still so many mysteries. Indeed. So many questions not getting answered, but yet some of them are, and that's the interesting thing. Done in here, moving on. Pep pep, cheerio. What's next? Who we got next? What room? I didn't actually look around everywhere, so somewhere else was probably locked as well, or unlocked that was already locked. Well, like the teacher's lounge. I guess we'll just go in the teacher lounge because it's already open and we're already here. We didn't really get to do anything in here in the last game. It was just a kind of an office with a bunch of plants in it. Is it the same? It is! And my boy Kazuchi's here. This feels different from a classroom. Maybe. It's probably the office, right? I mean, the room kind of has that stuffy teacher vibe to it. The office, huh? Now that you mention it, it does look like that.
Well...
More importantly, have you seen Miss Sonia? I don't see her anywhere. How much longer is this guy gonna be obsessed with Sonia? Give it up already, bro. You creepy bastard. Nobody gives a fucking farfik nougat about you, son. Ooh, level up. There's something written on the blackboard. What's written here? Oh shit. List of subjects is written on the blackboard in large letters. Just below that. Also, why is there a fancy picture of Hiyoko Saionji? I don't know. Let me read these names to myself real quick. Hajime, Chiaki, Kazuichi, Nagito, Gundam, Ultimate Imposter, don't even have a name. Teru Teru, Nekomaru, Uihiko, Akane, Sonia, Peko, Mahiru, Mikan, Ibuki. Huh, and Hiyoko over there on the left. Interesting. Okay. Are names I've seen before. Indeed. There's a newspaper posted on the blackboard. Below that, Hiyoko Saionji is written there. What is this newspaper? She looks way older in this picture too, doesn't she? That doesn't really look like her, does it? I feel like this doesn't look like her. What is this? It says Miss Hiyoko Saionji. This can't mean the same Hiyoko, right? I mean the Hiyoko we knew. She was much smaller and looked more childlike. It's pretty much her defining feature. But the photo in the newspaper, in a way I can see the resemblance to Hiyoko, but her height and figure is too different from the Hiyoko we knew. What does this mean? I don't know.
Huh? This lady looks pretty mature. Is she Hyoko's older sister or something?
No, it says Hiyoko Saionji right here.
Oh, then Hyoko has an older sister with the same first and last name.
An older sister with the same first and last name.
I mean...
That's the only explanation, right? I mean, look at her for yourself. That's not Hyoko.
But did you ever hear her mention an older sister?
Well, it's not like I was that close to her or anything.
Wrong.
She doesn't have an older sister. Hyoko is the Saionji's family's only daughter. If she doesn't have a sister, then a relative? Nah, there's still too much of a resemblance.
What are you
That's
saying?
Hyoko.
Huh?
Of course
What
not!
are you saying? Hyoko doesn't have a curvy body like this. I mean, she was famous for her childlike figure. She got away with all kinds of crap for looking like that.
Well...
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe she had a growth spurt?
What are you saying? She's already dead. There's no way she could have had a growth spurt.
Today,
Well,
I'm
regardless,
feeling
all the clues I provided are true. If they weren't, it wouldn't be fair.
What's going on?
What the heck? This is the truth?
If this is the truth, then the Hiyoko in this newspaper... Is he really saying this is the same person? That's impossible. I mean, how can there be a photo of a grown-up Hiyoko when she's already dead? Why does this even exist?
Hey, could it be related to that list of subjects over there?
Huh?
This is bad.
It says subjects. Maybe it means there was some kind of experiment, right? Did that experiment change Hyoko's body? Oh man, what am I saying? Just saying it out loud makes it messed up, man. What experiment?
If it's some kind of experiment, it would mean that we're also test subjects, right? I mean, our names are also written on the blackboard under that list of subjects. What kind of experiment was it?
What's going on?
What's going on? It better not have anything to do with time travel.
Good question. I better not. You're right. I don't think it will, though. I think that's maybe overthinking it a little bit. Anyway, what's up with the portrait? An extremely overwhelming portrait is hanging on the wall. I feel like I've seen it before, but the name etched into the placard says... Wait a second. Didn't we just learn that Izuru Kamakura was the student that killed all the other students? Fucking A, dude. I forgot about like we saw this picture inside of the strawberry house, or it was in the strawberry house and the grape house, I think. But we see this picture before. This makes everything very much more interesting, though, doesn't it? The founder of Host Peak Academy, and this name is Izuru Kamakura. Doesn't this clearly contradict the information I obtained earlier? Damn it, another mystery. Yeah, I'm confused about this now too. What the hell? Has there been a big ass time lapse or something since the last game? This monitor said the same person. Why am I even looking at that? I don't know. Anyway, there's another hologram floating here. Let's read it. There are letters floating in the air like the music room from earlier. Looks like a passage from an email someone wrote. I think it's the same as the one from before. Guess I should read it. We understand this matter regarding the survivors. In order to safely acquire them, please do your best and continue your investigation. However, you must exercise extreme caution concerning the remnants of despair. Even though they have lost Junko Enoshima, the fact remains that they are incredibly dangerous. Even after her death, the tragedy is not ended. Perhaps there is still a leader on par with Junko Enoshima. As long as we do nothing about the remnants of despair, we will not be able to end this incident. For this reason, the remnants of despair must be immediately eliminated once they are discovered. Everything is for the sake of a shining future. Immediately eliminated? Does that mean this is an order to kill them? Doesn't sound peaceful at all. Well, I guess it's understandable. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is this terrible town's. pretty much an all-out war. If the remnants of despair are the ones waging that war, there's no way they'd be forgiven that easily. Okay. Interesting, man.
Okay, with this, you've totally raised all the flags on this floor. Congratulations, Hajime. You shall now go on to the next stage.
Next stage? Well, before I leave here, I was gonna say, there's gotta be another doll. There is. I thought I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but I wanted to make sure.
Are you serious?
Oh, man, I'm gonna keep going, man. I just want to know more. I'm only getting more and more intrigued by this whole situation. So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. I've raised all the flags, which means time for the third floor. Here we go. Damn it, not again. The hallway is different from last time. Sorry if I keep hearing the mic move. I'm trying to adjust my headset so it stops yanking on my neck. Alright, I think hopefully that'll be better. Maybe. Hallway's different from last time. I guess when the flag Monokuma mentioned is raised, I moved to a different hallway than the last. How can he do that? No, now's not the time to be confused by that. Thinking about it is just going to waste my energy. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, what the hell's going on around here, man? Why is everything so fucked up? Why does it all feel like it's a simulation? You know what I mean? Or like we're inside of a game. Something is wrong here, man. Something's real fucked up here, man. And we got to get to the bottom of it. Anyway, this is the floor that had like the rec room on it, right? I believe so. Maybe that's where we're headed. Maybe the rec room over here. I don't remember the layout of this floor. Yeah, this is the rec room. Here we are. Okay. Since they started us in a weird spot on the floor, I wasn't sure where the hell we were going. More manga to read? Or at least some kind of book. Also, why is the pool table floating with all the pool balls? What the hell? There's a billiard table, a dartboard, and a shelf lined with magazines. It's hard to think about a room like this actually exists inside a school. It's not that hard to believe. Why is everything floating? What the heck, man? There's a lot of different magazines here. Fashion, motorcycles, martial arts, sports, computer, travel. There's even a magazine about cameras. Mahiru would have been happy to see this. It's a nice, firm-looking leather sofa. Looks like it'd be comfortable for anyone to sleep on. Or to die on. Rip. I guess I'm gonna look at the dartboard. There's a dartboard, but this is still a school, right? Or did Monokuma just randomly make up this place? Indeed. Pool table? Can you look at it? Guess not. Alright, let's start with this file here on the table. It's a file with Host Peak Academy's seal on it. It says confidential. That means this is a big secret, right? Why would an important document be here? Why am I even asking a question like that? Obviously, Monokuma's responsible. Anyway, I need to confirm what's inside the file. About the Hope Cultivation Plan. For many years, Hope's Peak Academy has conducted rigorous research into various talents. The Hope Cultivation Plan seeks to use the fruits of our labor to further that true goal, or further our true goal. With our hands, we will birth a true hope that will bring hope to the entire world. Truly, the program is the next innovation in providing the ultimate education. This plan has been the Academy's wish since its foundation, so we must succeed at all costs. What followed was a series of detailed instructions and intricate orders. It was full of difficult technical terms, and I had no idea what any of them meant. However, the word True Hope left a strong impression on my mind for some reason. The Hope Cultivation Plan was created for the sake of birthing true hope. Hope's Peak Academy was behind something like that? I don't really get it, but there's something about these words. True hope, huh? Something about that Nagito definitely mentioned, for sure. True hope, dude. He fought for true hope. He was all about that true hope. Even the locker's floating over there. Interesting. Also, this door is totally open. Alright, hologram, what you got? This is hologram again? What's this one say? It looks like another email passage. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have finally succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. Though they were all dispersed, we were successful in acquiring all 15 of them. Due to the fact that we were unable to ask them about specific details, it is unknown how they managed to survive the tragedy. It's been reported that some are wounded, so it seems certain that they survived under harsh conditions. Over the course of our detailed investigation, we determined that they are the same age as the others, so we have decided to entrust them to the survivors of the killing school life. As for the remnants of despair, there are still no solid leads regarding this matter, and we have no new information to report. We will continue with the investigation. Once they are discovered, we shall eliminate them immediately. Wait, everything is for the sake of the future filled with hope? Holy moly. Alright. Interesting. Okay, and the Academy of Survivors has been updated as well. It says here that they succeeded in acquiring them and have placed them in our care. That means we should have been protected by the Future Foundation, right? Then why is this happening? If the Future Foundation was protecting us, why were we forced to kill each other on that island? I guess it's not possible that the Future Foundation set this all up.
What's this?
My, Hajime, if you keep worrying like that, you're gonna get a toothache and collapse.
It's your fault. What is this hologram thing anyway?
Hey!
It's exactly what it looks like. They're the Future Foundation's emails. I thought they made the perfect clue, so I did a little bit of hacking here and there to get them.
You can even do that? Whoever's controlling you seems to possess many talents.
No, no!
Well, who cares about me anyway? That's not important at all.
There's no way that's not important. His true identity should connect everything that's happening to what's happening right now. Indeed. Okay, so I guess we're done exploring this room. So off to a new room, I suppose, until he says we've raised all the flags. I also did not see a moment. What? I didn't see a Monokuma doll in there, and it looks like I'm in a different hallway now. Although this looks upside down as fuck. Pretty much used to it by now, but even so. What is this space? Am I dreaming or something? I mean, it's just totally disconnected from reality. Also, we're upside down. And Akane is also upside down with us. And glitchy. Hello.
It smells...
It's close. It's very close. Someone is coming. Akane's twitching her nose and examining her surroundings.
Based on my
They're
gut
definitely
feeling.
close. Oh, real close. At least that's what my gut is telling me. Answer this with your gut. Is it an enemy or an ally? Let's see. My gut feeling is... They're both. Oh, they're both.
Yo!
He's right. They're both. Both? What do you mean?
You.
Also, it just occurred to me we're listening to some weird 8-bit remix shit right now. Kind of awesome, actually. I don't know any details. It is just my gut, after all. Well, that's true, I guess. Fair enough. That 8-bit remix, though, I didn't even realize it was playing. Keep talking so much, and I'm so loud, I don't even hear the fucking music half the time, especially when it gets all quiet. This is super weird. This is all upside down, man. I guess we're going to the library, though. Hopefully I didn't miss a doll on the 3rd floor. I didn't see one in the rec room, though, so I'm assuming there's going to be one here. Because we found 3 so far, I want to say? I think so. This must be a library. Monokuma probably left something here, too. I should hurry up and find it. Well, did he leave a doll? That's what I'm looking for first. Not a lot of peripherals here. Alright, well, there's a hologram. We'll just start there. This hologram again? Must be another one of the Future Foundation's emails. I should read it. There's no doubt that it's another clue. To Future Foundation, 14th Division, Makoto Naegi. Boom! Where are you guys? What are you doing right now? What you're doing is a serious act of treason. Do you understand? Why are you protecting the remnants of despair? It should be abundantly clear to you how dangerous it is to keep these people alive. Stay calm and think about this carefully. You guys are being lied to. Think carefully about what's important to bring the light of hope. Think carefully about what's important to bring the light of hope to the world. The 6 of you joined the Future Foundation because you agreed with our ideals, right? The Future Foundation rescued you from the tragedy you survived and cooperated with recovering your memories. Immediately return the remnants of despair to our headquarters. Unless we eliminate them, the tragedy will never end. Everything is for the sake of our future filled with hope. What does this mean? This email suggests that someone was trying to let the remnants of despair escape? This email is addressed to Makoto Naegi.
Mr. Naegi?
Sorry, my fucking headset fucking cord is all... I'm getting all flustered because I'm trying to read and then my cord's all yanking on my head when I'm trying to like move my head around. It's like resisting my movements. It's kind of annoying on my neck. Anyway, I think we'll be okay now. Mr. Naegi, dude. I know him. But he's with the Future Foundation, right? Then why was he trying to protect the remnants of despair? Did he betray the Future Foundation? Dun dun dun. Alright, so there's an email to Makoto. Got it. We updated the remnants. Okay. Well, there's a monitor, and then there's a fucking thing, so okay. Nothing else to examine in here, though. What about this door? No? Is that really it? Is that really it? I guess we're out of here, then.